I don't know what it is with you supremacists. I don't know what it is with you Trump supporters, you MAGA people, any racists. I don't understand it because you for some reason get it fucked up and think that you the only ones with guns and gear and train and all of that. You think just because you got some sellouts that validate your little racist opinions, you think you in the right. Well, I'm here to tell you that one, history has proven you wrong over and over and over again, and it continues to as time goes on. Not only that, you've violated God's law. Forget supremacist law. You've violated God's law. You've committed cardinal sins all throughout history. I'm here to tell you that, don't get me wrong, you gonna get some of my brothers and sisters, the ones that procrastinate and don't wake up and wise up and arm themselves and train and unite with their brothers and sisters. Yeah, they gonna wait till the last minute and find themselves dead. You gonna get them. But the real motherfuckers that's a part of this community, the real people of color, we just waiting in the shadows. We playing defense just like our ancestors did. We just waiting for you to pop it off. A bunch of sissy motherfuckers talking about, oh, this my country, this my country. No. This is not your country. If it was your country, you wouldn't have used black and brown people to build it. If it's your country, you wouldn't have took out loans from that same tyrannical government that you claim to have fled. If it's your country, you wouldn't need China or Africa's natural resources. You wouldn't need nobody. But it's funny that it's your country, you so patriotic, yet everything in your country comes from outside this country. Every asset in this country comes from outside this country. And to my people, people of color, I love you, but you motherfuckers better wake up fast because you're gonna find yourself in a very unfortunate situation. The only thing that's important right now is unity, is training, and healing from all the trauma that we suffer from. There is nothing else more important. Not them designer clothes that you spend your whole paycheck on to satisfy some motherfucker that don't give a fuck about you. Not that expensive ass car that you went and got to go impress a bunch of motherfuckers that you probably not even gonna be friends with a year from now. None of that materialistic dumb shit is important. And the faster you realize that, is the faster you can start your process to healing. Is the faster that you can start your process to uniting this community. Is the faster that we can start the process to really fixing some shit. But guess what? Until y'all do so, ain't nothing gonna happen. It's just we gonna continue talking, gonna continue doing a whole bunch of nothing but complaining until y'all do some healing. If you live in a state that is not Second Amendment friendly, move. I get it, easier said than done, Mo, I get it. But what's more valuable, what's more important than the safety of your children? What's more important than the safety of your family and friends? What's more important than the safety of this community? And you should be in a location where you can legally defend your community. If you in New York, California, or any other state that is not Second Amendment friendly, you're fucked already.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from whatever you're watching me from. As you know, I'm your host and presenter Internet Stories. I want to talk about something that it's really important, and I think this black man just tries to address the issue at the same time. I'm trying to fix this camera. Yep. Now, for the longest time, white people have always been feeling that they own, they control, they run every decision that happens in the United States, which sounds to be true. But look, somehow they overlook the power of other groups of people, these including black people, and what they are capable of. Because in as much as you have the power of controlling, owning, and doing everything that you want, that doesn't mean that you have the absolute power. So this is happening. This is what's happening. There is this white man. There is this black man that really shares an important perspective in regards to this. Because look, for the longest time, and even the problem where the United States is today, it is because there are so many voices that came from the white community that made a couple of decisions that is making America become where it is today. So I wanted to discuss a phenomena, and I looked deep into sociology. I tried looking deep into psychology, and there's something that I found something really interesting, because we are also looking this in aspects of fields from sociology and critical race theory, which still explains to you why do white people always feel that they are better than any other person, right? Because we have seen this in different spaces. That's why we have people who, they call them currents. We have them in different spaces. But my focus is not in an individual person, but my focus is on a general, broad-based, ideology, where I'm discussing with you why do white Americans, to be specific, believe that they are better, or believe that their opinion matters as compared to anybody. But before that, brothers and sisters, I'm gonna let you watch this video, because it's going to act as the base where I'm gonna be developing my points, and where I'm also gonna be discussing with you these ideas. So brothers and sisters, stay tuned, and I'm hoping to see you at the end of the video. If you're watching me for the first time, you definitely know that I'm asking you to please subscribe to the channel, join the membership, and really get to what I can offer you. But until then, let me see you in my next video. Let me see you where I'll be giving my thoughts and commentaries in regards to this.
For the slow people in the back, gun control was created so black people, so people of color, could not arm themselves, which is why they didn't want to make us citizens. They didn't want to make us human, because if they made us human, and if we were classified as human beings, then they would have to give us the same rights that they gave the whites, which now we have. Use them and stop being selective and only using the rights that are convenient for you to use. Who does it benefit by you not being armed? Anybody wanting to cause harm on you and your family. Educate yourself and heal. Train and heal. Arm yourself and heal. Unite with the people and heal. There shouldn't be no blood versus blood, Crip versus Crip, GD versus GD, BD versus BD, Vice Lord versus Vice Lord, or any of the in-between. There shouldn't be none of that, because all of your gangs was created to protect the community. So why have y'all not returned to that purpose? I don't want to hear no excuses. I already done heard them all. I already done researched them all. I know about how this government did this and they took all the leaders away and now we ain't got no structure. I know all of that, but how you gonna keep using it as an excuse when we got work to do? Take responsibility, unite, let's repair and heal this community, and we'll deal with the root of the problem, i.e. the supremacists, after we're done with the healing. But for now, you motherfuckers better wake up. If you thinking that just because you from the hood, just because you from the ghetto, that, oh, you just gonna wake up when the war happened, you just gonna wake up when some bullshit happened, and now all of a sudden you proficient in war tactics, you proficient in how to survive, you proficient in how to defend your family. No, that little Glock you got, it ain't gonna cut it. You're gonna be the first ones out the door. You're gonna be the first ones up there sitting in the upper room. So do yourself a favor, do your family a favor, do your friends a favor. Do what it takes. Stop choosing the convenient content route and do what it takes to educate yourself on how to protect your family, how to heal yourself properly, emotionally and mentally, and then watch how the momentum from that propels this community into unseen potential. If it don't apply, let it fly. The message was clear. I'm only talking to white supremacists and racists. But just like in history, y'all seem to jump in front of bullets that's not meant for you. And by the way, when you come trying to name call with me and try to attack me, guess what? I don't know what you think I'm finna just cower in a corner, shaking in my boots. No, we can get it cracking. Whatever you want to do. Side note for a second, Black folks, this is why it is impeccably important, absolutely mandatory, why we have to stop contributing to our own social demise. We have to stop with this internal war we got going on. To Black women, your trauma is valid. We understand. At least the good Black men, the real ones like me, we understand your trauma. We understand how you feel. We understand what you're trying to say. But you also have to understand where we coming from, what we trying to say, and how we feel in order for it to be a two-way conversation. In order for us to move forward and make progress, you cannot expect to just speak blindly on either end, from Black man to Black woman or Black woman to Black man. You cannot expect to just speak blindly without being able to listen to anyone else on the other end and be received well. We have to undergo a critical level of evolution, upgrading, unlearning. We have to work on ourselves and stop being so prideful and egotistical about doing so. Stop running from accountability with the issues internally in this community and look at it head on. For the betterment of the community, we have to address this. We have to address the fact that these gang members are more like Klan members than the actual Klan members. We have to address that the female rappers and male rappers are more like Klan members than actual Klan members. They're promoting for your young daughter to be twerking in class. They're promoting for your young son to unalive himself in the streets. And you just sitting up here keep dancing to it. I get it. It's entertaining. It's fun sometimes when you want to be lit. For the betterment of the community, we may have made a mistake by choosing to entertain that music. We have to keep it away from the children because they don't know how to decipher the difference from just entertaining something and really making it a part of your life. Is kids listening to NBA Youngboy, Little Durk, Megan Thee Stallion, Sexy Red, and that's becoming a part of who they are. Now back to the pale-skinned vampire. I don't know who told your pale, pasty, ugly, milk-bone ass that we give a two damn cents about anything you think about us. See, this is the arrogance that they have. They believe that we can't exist without them. They believe that if they weren't in America, it would just fall apart. Newsflash, Dodo Bird, it's falling apart with you in it. Newsflash, Dodo Bird, nobody in the world globally likes you. Newsflash, Dodo Bird, you owe everybody in the world billions and trillions of dollars. Newsflash, Dodo Bird, we're constantly having water and food shortages and coin shortages everywhere, chicken, eggs, we having shortages everywhere. Where are you thriving at? You ain't number one in education. You ain't number one in nothing other than war. And quite frankly, China done built a bigger army than you. And I'm not gonna lie, right? Because I'm kind of petty, right? All China would need to do, Rip, for real, is put some money behind the Black American community, and we might do the job for them.
Hello, brothers. Welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great. I have my tablet here. Really helps me with research. So, ideally, this mindset has a deep roots in history and colonization and slavery in the United States. So during these periods, systems were deliberately created to rank people by race, placing white individuals at the top. This hierarchy was enforced through laws, culture, and religion, making the idea of white superiority seem normal or justified to many people at the time. So we are looking at the developmental stages where all these things started, and we are looking at the history of colonization and at the same time history of slavery, because during those periods there was a social strata, and the social strata was marked with race, the social strata was marked with religion, and all these things were opposing forces to as to why we had all these classes. And why am I talking about religion? Because religion made it possible for white folks to feel that they are better than any other group of people. And even they use the Bible to justify slavery. So you see how all these were embedded. It was embedded in religion. It was embedded in what people were being taught. So people grew knowing that white is superior and black is not superior. And so that's why they still think that their opinions are much way better than anyone's. Also, another thing that I would like to discuss is that over the generations, these ideas became embedded in institutions such as education systems, housing policies, and employment structures, which often favored white America. Because of this, advantages could be mistaken for personal or group superiority rather than the result of unequal systems. This is sometimes discussed under the concept, what we call systemic racism. I'll explain. Probably you've heard, maybe I'll refer to you to read a book or watch a video by a professor called Jacqueline Batalora. Jacqueline Batalora discusses the creation of white race and how the white race came to be. So it stipulates that during the 18th century, there was no such thing as white. We had people that worked for the rich. It was about the social class, the bourgeoisie and the proletariats. In short, the rich and the poor. Right? So this is what happened. The elites saw to it that they were exploiting the poor. The rich were exploiting the poor. So when the rich were exploiting the poor, what happened? They came up with an idea. Because of fear, they say that if we don't make a certain group of people look better and give them opportunities and leave others, then we will fail. So what do? That's how they created whiteness. They started giving privileges to white people. So when they started giving privileges to white people, this is what happened. Black people felt like they were lower, below the strata. White people, since they started getting all these privileges, they felt that they were on a higher strata. And that's how they created white supremacy. That's how they created the concept of whiteness. So I'll send you to read that book. Another point of explanation is people tend to internalize the environment they grow up in. If someone is raised in a setting where their group is consistently portrayed as more capable, intelligent, or deserving, they may adapt those beliefs without questioning them. Media, textbooks, and even casual conversation can reinforce these narratives. Let me explain. Now, this is what is happening. You've ever heard that no one is born racist, right? That's a statement that is usually given. No one is born racist. Now, this is what happens when we say no one is born racist. Majority of people that come out racist, you realize that it is the environment. Probably they heard their patterns. Probably they interacted with their friends, and all of this thing happened. So nothing happens in isolation. All of these things, they are induced. They are from our environment. We learn from our environment, from the people we interact with. So when you see a child struggling with racism, it is because somewhere back at home or somewhere in school, they have learned this. Another thing is that there is also a psychological component. Humans naturally form in groups and out groups, often favoring those who are similar to themselves. When combined with historical power, this can evoke into a belief that one's group is not just familiar, but superior. This is tied to concepts like social identity theory. And I think when when we even don't look at it in form of race, you realize that, for example, in schools, rich kids, you find them in their own groups, middle class, their own groups, people maybe lower class, Lower class, you find them in their own group. So it is a social phenomenon, and it's something that happens. But all these are concepts that were created. I don't believe that there is a person who is higher class, lower class. I mean, we're all human beings. We breathe the same air. We do everything. That's why I made that face when I was saying lower class. You understand? So that's also psychological components that humans conform to. There are some narratives that frame American identity in ways that center whiteness as the default or the ideal. This can make other groups seem other or less belonging. You know, when they came up with eugenics was just a way, it was a pseudoscience. It was just a way that they came with to make black people feel less. And so many times they have tried, like, to prove this. They have tried to prove that they are better than black people. So I really don't know what you say about this. An important point that I almost forgot is misinformation and selective history, or what we call the revisionist history, which also play a pivotal role. So when people are not exposed to the full history of how inequalities were created, they may believe that current differences are due to the efforts or ability rather than structural factors. This reinforces a sense of superiority to them because their history lied to them so many times. So brothers and sisters, please let me know what you think about this. And as you know, I'm your host and pre-Center Agent Stories, but until then, let me see you in my next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.